This episode of DNews was proudly made possible by the all-new 2015 Subaru Legacy. It's not just a sedan, it's a Subaru. A new study finds that experiences make us happier than material possessions. So go ahead, just throw that iPhone right in the trash. Hey guys, Tara here for DNews, and no matter how you choose to spend your free time, there seems to be two kinds of people. People who prefer experiences and people who prefer material possessions. It's not up to us to say which one is better. After all, if it makes you happy, then it makes you happy. But a new study published this week in Psychological Science seems to indicate that on the whole, experiences make us happier than possessions. For this study, researchers tracked 100 college students and over 2,200 randomly selected adults to see what excites people the most. And what they found is that people tend to feel more positive about experiences than material goods. A lot of it has to do with anticipation. When we're looking forward to a trip, for example, it's kind of this nebulous thing, right? We have an idea of what's going to happen, but the unpredictability of those events is what makes them exciting. It piques our creativity and we start to think about all the fun things we're going to do. On the flip side, when we're anticipating a big purchase, our excitement is usually tinged with impatience. The example they bring up is someone purchasing the latest iPhone. In this day and age, everyone researches everything because nobody ever wants to feel buyer's remorse. So we almost always know exactly what we're gonna get. We know how many megapixels the camera has, we know what the phone looks like, we know minute details of every single feature of most of the products that we buy. And that does take a lot of the excitement out of them. Even something as banal as waiting in line is more fun when you're doing it for an event than for the release of the next big gadget. People are bonding and socializing, and even news reports have shown that people waiting in lines for material purchases are more likely to end in violence. Another factor could be money. People tend to get competitive over material possessions, but that's not usually the case with vacations or trips. Interestingly, there was another study done last year that sort of expanded on this topic, and it talked about how the kinds of experiences we like change as we get older. So while young people tend to prefer new, uncommon experiences, as we get older, we actually find more joy from normal, everyday experiences, and it stems from how we define ourselves. When we're young, we build our identity through our extraordinary experiences, but when we get old, that changes and we start to define ourselves through the ordinary experiences that comprise our daily lives. Personally, I've always enjoyed experiences to material possessions because possessions only last so long. Once you have kids and your kids start to have kids, nobody's going to be impressed about the time you waited 2 days in line to get the newest iPhone, but they will like seeing photos from your awesome trip to Fiji where you wrestled a shark. Think about it. While we're on the topic of adventures, I do want to remind you guys that I host another show here on Discovery called Anywho, and we just shot an entire episode last week about the 7 different times someone has died while taking a selfie.
A Russian girl fell off a railway bridge and died while trying to take a selfie. She lost her grip, was electrocuted when she grabbed live wires trying to save herself, and fell 30 feet to the ground below.
Yes, that happened, it's horrifying, and it kind of makes you think twice about taking photos on your next vacation. You can find that episode along with many more over at youtube.com/revision3. And in the meantime, let us know in the comments below which side of the fence you're on here. Is it experiences or material goods that make you happier? That's all from me, but as always, thank you guys for watching.